Hey everybody, I hope y'all are having an amazing day today. My name is Mercer and welcome back to another episode of Character War. And today on Character War we have two immensely cool assassins from two awesome anime series. I'm talking about Killua Zoldyck, Gon's best assassin friend from Hunter x Hunter versus Akame, the one-hit swordsmaster from Night Raid from Akame ga Kill. So, who wins this fight? Well, why don't we see for ourselves? The Zoldyck family is known for many, many things, that being one of the most famous and just well-renowned assassins in the world. Whether they're quite experienced in the job or fairly new to the practice, the Zoldyck family is quite experienced in terms of assassination, and one of their members, Killua Zoldyck, had a bit of a dispute involving his brother Miluki and his mother, along with an interesting relationship with his other brother Irlumi, which very foreshadows something like Sasuke and Itachi. However, when Killua went to take the Hunter exam, he met something he'd never encountered in his life, a true friend. And if you take the Hunter exam, let's be real, you're basically like an explorer, a CIA agent, and a master assassin all combined in one. But when Killua took it, he met up with a kid named Gon Freaks, and they forged an unbreakable and very likable relationship, which caused them to be best friends and go on adventures together. And of course, Killua is very accustomed to fighting traditionally and in newer ways, as he's learned a number of different tricks, like the famous assassination technique, the Rhythm Echo, which allows him to create after images of himself to use in offensive combat. This was especially helpful in his fight with Netero and Chimera Ants. He also has a number of different assassination-based training, like stealth, infrared, and is immune to a number of different pain techniques like stabbings, poisons, and even electrical-based attacks, which we'll get into in a little bit. Killua can also stretch out his fingers in a form like a knife, which allow him to cut through almost extremely thick skin and even steel. He can use both of those, but normally prefers to use one hand at a time. And finally, Killua can use these hands for super precise measurements, like taking a guy's heart out of his body before he even notices. That's hardcore. And like most Hunter x Hunter characters, Killua can use an energy called Nen. Nen, much like Ki or Chakra from Dragon Ball and Naruto, is a very renowned and very useful trait to learn. A form of Nen, Ten, can be used as defensive, can boost your attacks, and another form called Ren can increase your attack levels and slow down aging. There are multiple different types of Nen users, and Killua is one of the most accustomed being a transmuter. If you don't know what a transmuter is, there's a number of different Nen types, this best being a specialist. And of course, transmuters can enhance physical things and mold something in the nature around them, as Killua can do this by testing it with a glass and a leaf in front of it, making water taste like lemonade almost. And by mixing this up with his fighting style with yo-yos, Killua can make an extremely deadly arsenal. These yo-yos are made of metal, can slice through someone's head in less than a second, and he uses electricity through his Nen. Whether it be long-ranged or short-ranged attacks like the Lightning Palm or the Thunderbolt, Killua can use a number of different attacks to his advantage. While Lightning Palm requires to be close range and is like a taser, the Thunderbolt is a direct upward attack, which allows him to shoot from a faraway distance an extremely large bolt of lightning. And finally, he's got a super form, Godspeed. This form can move as fast as lightning, and can even move faster than the eye can see. It has all of enhanced attacks and can create much more electricity, though it does drain his power if he uses it too much of it. And like multiple hunters before him, Killua is one of the best in the class, and is also trained with a number of different teachers, including Biscuit Kruger and, a number of people like Netero, who he can keep up with. He can even go as fast as Chimera Ants, and even keep up with people as tough as other Nen users, like Gon physically and Kite, both of which can take out Chimera Ants without even having to use Nen. Of course, he can keep up with the other Nen users like Shoot for a long period of time, though he did lose that fight. And Killua can even do the same for other people like Chimera Ants with Dart and Nen abilities, including one of the most toughest Chimera Ants, Yuppie, who's capable of 2 megaton bomb. That is remarkable. And after helping his friend Gon when he was sick and freeing his sister Aluka, Killua didn't just become a master assassin, he became a hunter. The Empire in Akame ga Kill is really, really messed up. But it does have a number of really big problems, like how they kind of take people and force them to be master assassins. And of those people were two sisters, Akame and Kurome, both of which never really wanted to be assassins in the first place. But after they had to take a number of tests and kill danger beasts with just a knife, Akame and Kurome luckily, and probably even skillfully, passed the assassination test, making them extremely skilled assassins through their training with the Empire. Akame especially specialized in swords, knives, and small blades, and after they were separated, Kurome had to take a darker and more dangerous path, of which would turn her into a more evil-based person. This eventually led her to join the evil team, the Jaegers, while Akame followed Najinda, the leader of the resistance, to join Night Raid, a group of assassins fighting against the tyrannical clasp of the Empire. And with an Imperial Arms, which is like a weapon that suits your trait mostly, Akame can keep up with and even surpass other members of Night Raid physically. This includes Tatsumi, Bulat, and Leone, all of which she scales to physically. And with her best Imperial arms, Murasame, the one-hit sword, she is a master with a blade and a number of different techniques. And this isn't just an ordinary sword. This thing can kill you like that, and it is a master of it, as it has an interesting poison towards it, which attaches straight to your heart and bloodline, filling you with tattoos until eventually you strangle, suffocate, and die while being killed by Akame in less than a second, as she's a master with a blade to begin with. And like I said earlier, she scales to other members of Night Raid physically. As her arsenal is very limited to just the sword, she doesn't really need a large one when her sword can deal damage like that with just ease. She's also got an interesting super form. By slashing herself with the sword, she increases her demon Murasame form, which gives her enhances in every form of physical stats. This allowed her to go toe-to-toe with one of the series' toughest villains, Esdeath. And Esdeath is capable of megaton levels of ice. Though she does not have ice level power, she was still able to take hits from it. And like I've said earlier, she can keep up with other people in Night Raid, like Leone, who can dodge lightning bolts. In her beast form, of course, and Akame can scale to that, as she's done it before. She also has, remember, fought other members of Night Raid in training. This includes the swordsman and spearsmaster Tatsumi and Bulat. And remember, she isn't just an ordinary master of a blade, she is a superstar, as she's kept up with Esdeath. And after being the last surviving member of Night Raid, Akame did find herself happiness. As she did heal from her wounds, she became a true hero. Oh, I also forgot to mention the sword! The one-hit sword. Come on, do I really need to say any more? Yeah. So, let's see how she does. So who wins this fight? Well, I had to do a lot more research than I anticipated, and I know some of you might be thinking, well, what if Akame just rushes in and kills Killua? That may not actually be the case. Killua has a number of different advantages. While they both can do lightning dodging feats, they also and move as fast as lightning, both with the scaling and Killua's Godspeed ability, they have also taken on Megaton level characters. However, only Killua's was using the Megaton power eventually, as Godspeed didn't just counter Yuppie, it completely knocked him out for very long periods of time. And not to mention, he's fought Chimera Ants with some of the same abilities as the Murasame sword, even if the poison isn't as strong. He also has long-ranged attacks, which he could use against Akame, giving him the edge in versatility, arsenal, and even experience, as he's been trained by more deadlier assassins than even just the Empire, while the Zoldyck family is some of the best assassins in the world. And I know Akame can scale to other members of Night Raid, but think about it. That never would have happened if Killua wouldn't be able to win if he didn't have tough training from nin users and professional assassins. And, not to mention, he scales to Gon's nin physically, and Gon is an enhancer, meaning he can go through solid brick with ease. And with the training from Biscuit Kruger, he really had no true chance of losing this fight when he had professional training. I know it's weird when we think about how Akame had a sword that could kill Killua in one shot, but when we look at the training, Akame has struggled with people who do stand odds against her, like Kurome. So when he had better strength, speed, and an arsenal, he did prove a win. The winner is Killua. On the next episode of Character War, we've got Shikamaru Nara versus Fumikage Tokoyami. I hope you guys enjoy. Always be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one.